Welcome back, guys, here to the Hillside, and today I'm going to show you how you can grow ginger even if you live in a cold climate. Let's go ahead and check it out. Alright guys, so this past winter, for an experiment, I had a piece of ginger that I got from the grocery store, and I got it to sprout. I nursed it along, I kept it in a little pot, and then as the summer went on, this bed that we're in here, this raised bed, actually had potatoes in it. The potatoes were all taken out, and this little ginger was in a pot. It didn't look so great, so I figured I'll just put it in this raised bed and just see what happens. So my first time I've ever grown ginger, and I think, well, it's been fairly successful. Now, like, I live here in zone 6, 7, right on the border, depending on the winter. And this plant is a very tropical plant, native to Southeast Asia, so it is obviously not going to survive. And unfortunately, all good things do come to an end, as tonight we're probably going to get our first frost of the season. So without getting a chance of the plant going to be damaged and the leaves get all mushy or something, I'm going to go ahead and pull it out today to see what we've got. So mind you, this was one little piece of ginger from the grocery, has grown into this amazing little rhizome clump right here. And you can just tell, just before we pull it out, how the plant does grow. See, it sends these little shoots up just like this. Okay, then it unfurls into actual ginger. And something else that's totally awesome, these leaves and these stems absolutely smell like ginger. It's crazy. It's awesome. So just out here pulling weeds or just being in the garden, just brushing up against it, you just get this scent of ginger, which is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and quit talking and go ahead and pull this ginger up and see what we got here underneath the soil. Alright, so I'm actually inside of the bed now, which is alright because this is the last thing that's coming out of this bed before, like I mentioned, the frost hits tonight, and the garden season will be coming to almost an end. There are some fall crops that I can show you guys later on as the season progresses, but for right now, let's get this ginger out of the ground, alright? So, probably should have used a shovel for this, but let me go ahead and just try to get a grip of it, see if it's going to come out. Yeah, that's in there really, really well. So let me go ahead and, oh my god, these roots on this thing are incredible. Holy crap. Whew. That was an ordeal. Look at that. Wow, all of that from one little rhizome of ginger from the grocery store this past winter. So let's go ahead and get this cleaned off and get an up close look at what we have actually down here underneath all this dirt. Alright, so it's that easy. You take the ginger out of the ground, just pull it up in one big chunk, and all these little rhizomes are going to spread. And this, you can kind of tell these nice thick roots on this thing. This plant was very well anchored into the ground. But I know what you're saying right now. Dave, this is not what I think ginger is supposed to look like. This is not what you buy in the store. And you are correct. This is what is known as young ginger. Okay, so the ginger you buy in the store is probably 2 to 3, even more years old. So the first year ginger, being a tropical plant, it's just going to grow, it's going to go dormant, it's going to sprout again, and over time it's going to keep developing into a big clump with all these rhizomes keep just expanding. And eventually you'll get a nice hard outer skin like you're used to seeing from the grocery store ginger that we're all familiar with. Now, this ginger will not keep forever like an old storage root would. However, this is much more mild. It's better for cooking, like for stir fries, for just using fresh, putting into teas as well. It's pretty fascinating how the plant grows, and you look how just nice and thick these roots are. I mean, this ginger, all of this came from just one little portion I got from the grocery store, and I think this might actually be it right here. You can kind of tell this little part here that's kind of nasty and falling apart. I think this is what you would consider the mother. You can kind of see where this old hard stuff right there, that was the original grocery store part that I actually planted to get all of this ginger you saw before you. So you know, ginger is great for eating fresh, like I mentioned, has tons and tons of health benefits, and it's just a fun plant to grow. And then as an added benefit, you can actually eat the shoots. A lot of countries, you actually would chop up some of the younger shoots to use in cooking as well. So can ginger be grown in zone 6 or zone 7? Sure. Can you grow it over the winter? Not unless it's in a container and you bring it inside and you keep it warm, and you can bring it back out the next year and continuously growing it. But I just wanted to do this as an experiment, and it's really, like I said, I think it's very successful. And next year, I'm going to definitely try this again. I may try to put some of these in a container to overwinter them and just see how much I can grow them for the next year, next season going forward. But all in all, it was a success in my book. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, here on the hillside as I harvested some ginger. Let me know if you've ever grown any ginger down below in the comments, and I'll see you next time up here on the hillside. All right, guys, until then, bye-bye.